Hey, Nation, Harry here on the final day of the Pax8 conference, Pax8 Beyond here in Denver, Colorado at the Gaylord. If you haven't gone to a Gaylord, they're pretty nice. And I got to give shout out to Pax8 for an inaugural event. That's hard. That's hard. And I think they pulled it off. 1,100 attendees. You saw yesterday's blog that speaks towards that. So today's interview day, and I'm with John Murchison. Did I get that right? I've been rehearsing all night, man.
You got it.
Over at Blackpoint. So introduce yourself. What's your story?
Yeah, I'm John Merson, CEO and founder over at Blackpoint. My background was tech. I was a network engineer before I kind of got into the hacking game.
Yeah.
Kind of doing Cisco, kind of carrier class type stuff and knock back in the day. But then I ended up at the National Security Agency.
And I saw you're in the Beltway, so to speak. And
I am.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I actually split my time. Like I'm in Colorado 10 months of the year now. But, but Maryland, I'm going back Sunday. So I spent 12 years there, kind of as a computer network operations, kind of on the offensive side, and my kind of specialty was counter nuclear weapons. So I spent a long time doing that, and then we started also making software because this is really my second company.
Okay.
My first company, similar name, was Blackpoint Technologies. That was a national security focused company. I had left the agency. They asked me to come back. I started that company. And then we started making software back in like 2011. Fast forward to now, I sold that business, pivoted, went 100% commercial, and now we're a 24/7 managed detection response company and really a software and engineering company. Everything we use, we make.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. And you've recently become a Pax8 partner. Cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So what's your business model specific to the MSP community, the channel partners, the Pax8? I mean, I get what you do.
Yeah. I mean, I'd say like at a high level, our business strategy really is there's a lot. Security takes a lot of experience, right? There's a massive shortage, both in IT professionals and even worse in IT security professionals that know what they're doing. And so really what we like to do is we kind of put an ecosystem play of products together. So it's underpinned by MDR, so it's real security. Mm-hmm. There's real action arm. We're the first company in the world doing live response on Microsoft 365. We do over 40 a week right now. But then we keep adding products. And we're not charging more, so people can save spend on other products to standardize on their stack. So that's step one on kind of our business strategy. The second part, we recently launched Blackpoint University at IT Nation. And that's
I heard that's a good show, by the way. I didn't make it a week ago, 2 weeks ago.
It was great. They did a fantastic job. ConnectWise knocked it out of the park. And so, really with Blackpoint, this is our partner enablement push. We're going to invest massively. So it's not just like nerding out on the next security topic. We definitely do a bit of that, but we're doing Finance 101. We're doing maturity models for MSPs, pricing and packaging. We're doing how to set up a structured go-to-market and selling platform, how to implement metrics and KPIs. Really, and we even have a leadership course taught by highly decorated combat special operations officers, right, to help folks just learn how to build those good traits into an organization. So, that's really a lot of what we're doing. Pax8 specifically, first off, really well-run company. We're huge fans.
Oh, yeah.
They solve one of the biggest pain points MSPs have, which is I have 30, 50 tools, unifying billing. So it makes a ton of sense for us. Also, we integrate with SentinelOne and CrowdStrike and Microsoft, and so we're friendly to a lot of all the different endpoint products they sell, and we take over looking at that stuff. And also, we've leaned in heavily to support securing the Microsoft 365 ecosystem, and being such a massive Microsoft partner, the partnership just makes total sense for us.
Yeah, I like the business speak paradigm that you're going down, because I come up through the ranks when it was geek speak.
Right,
Windows Server back in the day, and 2 a.m. downloading the drivers.
So
done with that. So I like what you're doing in terms of the business education. I to a fault, I really support that, and probably at the cost of being keystroke technical.
Yeah, well, it's at the end of the day, like when I look at MSP pain points, it's really managing this mess of tools and all the billing and reconciliation. Huge pain point. Front of the funnel lead gen, where's my next customer coming from? Massive pain point.
Yeah.
Right. The other thing, how do I get my existing legacy customers to pay more? Right. So so they can add modern tools to it, like us or something like that. So one of the one of the successful bundling approaches or pricing and packaging we've been seeing is we're watching some of the largest, most sophisticated MSPs put a version number, like it's a piece of software, on their offering, and maybe they have 2 a year.
Yeah, their version.
Yeah,
No
and
kidding.
they say you can never be 2 versions out of sync, and that builds that natural ability to kind of continually upgrade and keep IT modern. And when you can do that and you can standardize security up front, now you can focus on retention. Post-sales customer success, right, and recruiting and going to market, right, and that builds a more repeatable business. And when you do it that way, it builds a more valuable business, right? Because there's a lot of M&A going on in the space.
Exactly.
So that's why we're doing it, just because we see that pain.
Yeah. Hey, finally, let's talk about the company itself. Clearly, you like motorsports. I'm looking at Andretti Autosport. We're seeing that in the industry. Cronus is an F1 sponsor, that kind of thing. So we're seeing
Sentinel
that.
One, CrowdStrike is F1, Janus Filter's also an Andretti sponsor.
Exactly. Yeah. You're investor back. Let's talk about that.
Yeah. So, our philosophy actually, it was kind of an interesting one. When rounds and prices were completely off out of this world like a year and a half, 2 years ago, we, as a company, stayed hyper fiscally diligent. So our SaaS metrics are in the top 5% of all SaaS companies. And so we went really careful to make sure we built a foundation. It was instrumented. It wasn't something where we got addicted to growth equity money, and then interest rates rise, valuations drop, and now you need money again. That's the bad time to go to the market. So, we just did a major $190 million deal with Bain and Excel, which we're really excited about.
That's real money.
In the reality is, but up until that point, we had only raised 26 and didn't even spend anywhere close to all of it. And so for us, we felt like the fundamentals are there. We have a massive product lead on our competition. Now it's time to fix all the go-to-market, continue to invest in R&D, and continue to invest in partner enablement. And that's why we're doing the Andretti events. We're doing VIP, we do a whole pre-day of training. And then behind the scenes, you get to go in pit lane and kind of meet the drivers. But it's experience, marketing and education, and we think it's, so far been pretty successful.
Yeah, I saw that last fall. A friend of mine took me to the Circuit of Americas in Austin, where I now live. First career in Seattle, now Austin.
Yeah.
But I went, and I'm not necessarily a car aficionado, but I sure appreciated the event.
Well, I raced for fun. I do. I raced in the Mid-Atlantic Road Racing Series back east. And actually, my 15-year-old just raced this past weekend. He's a racer also. So for us, it kind of hits close to home.
All right. Well, finally, what's next? I mean, acquisitions, conferences, where can people expect to see you in the future?
Everywhere. We've been traveling nonstop. Okay. I think I'm in Dublin in a couple of weeks here for DataCon Europe. So we're going to be really expanding our shows. But I think what's really next for a company, we have more major product releases this year that we're just adding to our bundle. We're not charging more. And so stay tuned for those. And then a heavy investment in Blackpoint University and training.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
that's a big takeaway. Yeah,
I mean, listen, if it's going to be a real partnership between vendor, and MSP, we have to be helping each other, right? You represent our brand, we represent your brand, and the more education that we can do to help get more repeatable, better business practices, I think it's good for the industry. Because and I'll leave you with this one last point.
Yeah.
The data we have is showing the MSP market is growing, projected to continue to grow on its own at a 12% CAGR. Advanced security services and MSP are growing at 32% CAGR. This is great news. It means this market's expanding for MSPs. But what it also means is private equity, smart money, lots of investors are coming in. They're going to be rolling up MSPs and putting in all these really good business practices. So if you're a sub $8 million a year MSP, it's wise to really start professionalizing, kind of the offering and your repeatability, because competition's going to increase.
Yeah. Well, continued success. Let's stay in touch.
Thank you. We will.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.